back, everybody. A sunrise interview for you on this New Year's Day. Joining me this morning is Dr. Corey Gonzalez, a clinical psychologist here around town. Thank you so much for joining me again, Dr. Corey. Happy New Year.
Good morning. Happy New Year to you,
Of course.
Anthony.
First day of 2026, and what you're here to talk about today is some New Year's resolutions and how to basically have those New Year's resolutions last the whole year.
Yeah, it's important, Anthony. If you make a goal, you want to make sure you meet your goal. And generally speaking, this time of year, it's good to reflect on what we've done and also think about having some goals for the coming year. Having goals is a healthy thing. Some people believe having goals, engaging your skills, putting yourself in something bigger is important. The important thing is you have attainable goals, your goals are measurable, you also are accountable with your goals, prepare yourself for setbacks, and also create an environment that's conducive to meeting your goals.
So setting goals is one thing, but reaching them and completing them for 365 days is a completely different beast. You mentioned attainable. Let's talk a little bit more about that. How important is making attainable goals that you can reach?
Well, if you don't, you're going to fail, right? And the reality is about 23% of the people are out after a week. About 43% are out after a month. Only about 9% make it the full year. But the most common goals is money, exercise and losing weight, as well as social relationships and family relationships, and your mental health. Those are the four biggest goals.
Meanwhile, measurable is also a big thing in your list or ways to attain those goals. Explain what that is a little bit more.
Yeah, when when we have so much technology now, you can measure how many steps you take. You can look how much you slept by technology. And when I talk about attainable goals as well, I know I skipped over that. For exercise, you don't have to do this harsh crash diet, cutting back on carbs, cutting out on your dessert, exercising 3 times a week. But you can measure these things. You can look how far you've gone on the treadmill. You can look how far you've gone. You can measure your stuff as well. So that's important.
Keeping those New Year's resolutions alive can be a little bit harder when you don't have somebody to keep you accountable. How important is that?
That's really important, Anthony. I mean, if you have a sponsor, you let people at the water tank know what you're doing, it makes you more accountable to things. You get involved in the group, let them know what's going on. It can help you maintain that focus. 365
days, it's a long year. I know it may feel like it's going by a little bit fast, but first day of 2026, there might be a lot of setbacks. How do you deal with them?
Well, remember, it's not all or nothing. If you make a mistake, you fall off the wagon, you get right back on and realize it's one day at a time, not all or nothing. One day at a time is the best approach with this stuff.
Clinical psychologist Dr. Corey Gonzalez joining us here to talk about how to keep those New Year's resolutions alive for the entirety of 2026 and not just the first few weeks or the first month. The last point you mentioned, creating a conducive environment. I like that.
Yeah, if you're trying to save money, you don't want to be on Amazon all the time. You won't want to be at the mall. If you're trying to stop drinking, you don't want to be hanging out at bars. If you're trying to lose weight, don't go to the buffets. Create environments conducive to what you're trying to do. Let people that you're close to around you know what you're doing as well. It can help you create environments conducive for you to maintain your goals for the year.
And I see in your notes here, it's also important to reflect at the end of the year or on the past year. How important is that to you?
Well, I think it's good for all of us. We want to, I always say 90% front windshield, 10% rearview mirror.
Like it.
Once in a while, we want to reflect, see where we've gone. We want to learn. We want to grow. We want to be a better version of ourselves. We want to evolve. It's very important that we continue to grow and develop, not beat ourselves up if we have a bad day or a bad week. Try to get back out there and continue to grow and develop. We want to do that till the day we die.
All right, Dr. Corey Gonzalez sharing some words of wisdom as we kick off 2026. The champagne has been popped. Doctor, thank you so much for joining me this morning.
Happy New Year, Anthony.
Happy New Year to you too, and Happy New Year's to you too.